perspective of someone who was watching this, I was in a hotel room freaking out, live tweeting this. This is when the internet truthers started to come out and be like, it's taped. It's pre-taped. There's no way, because you watch that and you don't see one other camera in the shot, and yet you know we're cutting from shot to shot to shot, and the only cameras we see are the practical ones that are the TV station inside the hand jive. What is even happening to my eyeballs in that sequence?
I mean, this is the sequence, and watching it and getting to watch it with all of you and celebrating it with you and all of you is such a testament to what it means to actually be part of a team. Because the amount of work from every department, what Zach Woodley did there, what Alex and that group of camera persons, the company rehearsing that, the immersive set that David Corns made there that allowed us to shoot in all directions. And one of the things I'm most proud of about this, and this is a testament again to all the departments, is that the storytelling is so clear. If you watch that, that was scripted, and that is storytelling, up to seeing Vanessa as Riz tell the cameraman to get them, because she's not supposed to be there. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I feel like really was a synthesis of all of the things that this incredible group did. So I'm in awe of it in that way, and my job was to try to, A, not screw it up, and B, make sure that we all could follow that clear story that was given to us. You know, it was in the script, we had to try to honor it, and what you're seeing is that kind of
I think that's what such a challenge for me is that in such an immersive environment, not only was it a fantastic, energetic dance sequence that you and Ajit, but there was so much narrative there. There was so much story. There were so many really important beats that we have to tell in amongst that. And there were, gosh, how many people did we have on that dance floor? 50, 60 people on the dance floor and the audience. And I'm trying not to show the other cameras. And I think there's one shot in there of Carly Rae when she's spinning on the floor, and I do a 360, but you see the camera actually tilts down to the floor as I go all the way around and come back out to protect the other cameras in the room. Interestingly enough, the previous act, we wanted to, we were also in the gym, we shot the previous act immersive, so we were in there with a Steadicam, and we made a point of lingering all the way around the room, and didn't have fixed cameras other than the Steady. This act, we literally pulled 2 walls out during commercial break, wheeled a camera crane in, which is 30 foot high, pulled the walls back together in a 3-minute commercial break so we could get those great sweeping shots in the audience.
Well, the crane shot is really where you're like, where are they hiding the crane?
And it's you know, again, everything is scripted. There's probably 150 shots in that scene, and weeks and weeks and weeks we rehearsed and refined. And as Tommy said, it's just testament to the whole team just refining the nuances of all those things. And we all listened to it back as a team with the cast and with the technicians after every take. And we're like, you know, and trying to refine. But with so much kinetic movement, it's a struggle, because when so many people are trying to hit their marks and not block sight lines and not block Vanessa or you or Mario walking through the crowds, you know, and sometimes it's just a couple of inches make all the difference. So
it was amazing.
There's a degree of luck to it as well.
It was amazing watching just now, separately from the whole show, you actually saw so much more of the story. Because it's like every little thing, from Mario to Noah to, you know, Patty. I mean, it was just every little detail.
Aaron, what's it feel like in that moment? Because I'm painfully aware that you're doing lifts, like complicated lifts and steps.
Well,
and
you know, I'm trying not to drop Julianne Hough, you know.
Right.
But no, you know what? Honestly, and watching it back it's kind of very emotional to watch, because it's what you're saying. It's like 400 people all committed to this thing, and no one ever messing up or dropping the ball for anybody else to make that happen. And then on the night, as an actor, anything I've ever done, I've never felt an experience like that, what it felt like for that 25 minutes to be in that gym. It was like there was absolutely no acting involved. Because we were in the gym, it was our full company, there were, you know, and then there were 100 extras and the audience. It felt like you were in a high school gym. We couldn't see the cameras. And I mean, so much storytelling is being told on camera, but some of my favorite stuff is Andrew Call is here, who played Sonny.
What's up, Andrew?
And some of my favorite stuff was like watching him work through the crowd that wasn't on camera, trying to sneak me a nip from his flax that he had. And I mean, just like all these stories that were being told, and we weren't acting, you know what I mean? We were in the gym in this high school, and it was something, the energy in that room was something I've never felt before.
I want to talk about a couple more sequences, and then I have some questions from the internet themselves that they would like to ask you. I want to talk about Jordan Fisher's song, where he goes around and sings, and I watched the world fall in love with Jordan Fisher in real time, like an OMG, who is that moment, happen online. But also, you know, the storytelling of going beat to beat, what was sort of the thinking behind planning that sequence?
Well, that felt like another moment. Again, you know, there's that great sequence in the film, and our feeling was this: we love that film, and we love the stage show. So let's honor that, let's embrace that, and you know, that's why the punch bowl there is something that David Corns found that is the punch bowl from the movie. You know, there's these Easter eggs throughout, which are our way of sort of quietly saying it, and then the whole thing is basically a love letter to the show. So this was another moment of magic, where that sequence in the film where he goes and tries out for sports, which is not in the stage play, and that song, which is in the stage play, and I was talking to the writers, and they sent a version of the script, and it was all in one thing, and it was like, of course. And so my job then is to say, so how do we let William do what William does? How do we make this song about these magical changes from the man who invented the word magic and invented the word changes? So we knew that what we could do is we could evolve Aaron throughout and tell that story.
Changing.
Yes, and they were both changing. And then, and let's also, again, back to that initial thought, this was another moment where it was just one shot. So let's embrace that. So if you had seen what happened outside of that, it was absolute mayhem. And Jordan Fisher, in that moment, when America said, basically looked at their proverbial playbill and just started Googling immediately. Handsome boy singing high. It was about celebrating that. And that last moment when he and Aaron are together in the middle of that, again, fully immersive environment, just these two guys making music, it was that simple. So how do you hold on to the most simple idea that has to be made in a complex way and let it feel simple? So that was the trick of that. And again, everybody on the stage and many of the people that aren't here made that happen.
And then the other sequence, I would be remiss if we didn't hit it, is the final sequence, which is when I had what you experienced, William, when everyone came out for the bow, I started bawling because that's the moment where I realized, oh, we have a bunch of theater technicians now working at the highest level on television right now, and everyone gets their bow when you go to the theater. And to watch all those dancers who you know are making miracles happen in real time, it was very moving. And I also, I want you to, we also almost saw Wendell Pierce tip over a golf cart when he caught that curb, which was like...
Wendell was a passenger. I won't say the guy's name.
Yeah, and we're like, no, please don't lose Wendell Pierce. So that's like a nice little reminder that we're live. But talk about that final sequence, because you go outside and you sort of explode the world that you've been in. You've been in all these sets, and then everyone goes outside and everyone gets a bow, and it feels like graduation at Rydell High.
Tommy said the whole time we were rehearsing, you know, who cares if it rains, if it's raining at that point, we don't care. Basically, if we made it to the carnival, we did it, and just to celebrate. And it was a party for everybody and everyone at home and everyone there. So, you know, I think we all took that to heart. It's like, and that was the first time inside of it that I think we went, oh my God, we actually made it. We did this. Because it was like head down for 3 hours and making all these, running around for 3 hours basically. But we got there and it was just like time to celebrate.
Yeah. And the Naval Cadets were there.
Everybody was there. Everyone that William had found.
People we hadn't seen before were there.
Right. And you told me a story about running out with Mark.
Yeah, so, you know, our feeling was that, again, this is a very early conversation. Let them bow. Look what they've done. Let them bow.
It's the best.
And there's a, you know, and Jeannie, who was in the scene with Mario Lopez, who played his makeup gal, who works with Ellen. Ellen put her, you know, sort of, she's done a lot of things for Ellen. Ellen put her in the show, and we gave Jeannie a bow. And what I said to Jeannie is that, Jeannie, you're all of us. You bowing is the person we all say, oh yes, she was part of it. And that was for that little girl who grew up wanting to be a part of the theater, was included, because she's the same as we are. She's the same as all of us. You wrote a song about it with Tom. And, hashtag Emmys. And one of the things that was so clear is by the time we got outside, we said, we're throwing a party and everybody's invited. And how do we represent that? And David Corns built a carnival, and Alex found a way for a camera to be 7,000 feet above all of us to show the sweep of it. And the leap that Aaron, the vertical that Aaron has at the end after they finished doing it, I think was how everybody was feeling. Yeah. Because we finally were able to, like you said, pick our head up or look down and see how high you were. Yeah. And that exuberance was something that Mark and I were sitting in the truck very near Alex said, have fun with the end! And we ran out, and if you look really closely, deep background, it's me and Mark like on top of a truck with like a policeman being like, touchdown.
Let's play that.
Yeah. Don't roll the tape, don't roll the tape.
Yeah, I just love you and Mark Platt on top of a golf cart at the end of Grace Live. That makes me very happy. Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions from the Twitter and the Facebook. These are questions for you all. I'll direct this to Aaron. What was the funniest thing / blooper that happened on set? It's a question from Ambar_Vega.
Oh God, you know, it's kind of hard to say because I think we all had a little too much fun every day on set. It was just the environment that was created. That, you know, our first 2 weeks of rehearsal were basically the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies and the dancers, and we really got to kind of find all of these interrelationships within these two groups of people that I think really carry through. We had, I mean, the T-Birds, we had so much fun. Basically, our days were spent, myself and Andrew and David Del Rio, who played Putsy, kind of just picking on Carlos and Jordan. And we had a lot of fun doing that, and there's probably too many things to even say, but, you know.
Jennifer Williams from the Facebook asks, how long did it take for you guys to learn the songs and also the dance moves? Smiley face, I love the play, you guys did a great job. Yeah, how long was from first rehearsal to ending, what was your process?
We started with Zach and a group of the dance ensemble for 2 weeks in November. Then we had the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies and the Dancers Continue for 3 weeks in December, and then added the rest of the company for those last 2 weeks. So we did about 5 weeks in the studio. We basically made it the same hours as making a Broadway show. So we could prepare them in that way. And then we were on set for about a month, maybe 3.5 weeks.
And we did a run before Christmas break, right?
We
that
did.
Was about
Last
5
day
weeks
before we broke for Christmas.
Yeah,
on
right.
the 22nd.
So we had run the show in the rehearsal
hall.
And we ran it like 6 or 7 times in the rehearsal room.
Yeah.
And the show that aired on that Sunday was the 3rd show with an audience. Again, a testament to this group and being ready for that. And the 5th time we had run the show.
It was our 5th show, and that's something that, you know, that I kept saying as people were, you know, the nerves were kind of going up and down that whole weekend, is that, and you kept saying the same thing. We had the luxury that we ran it twice on Thursday with all the technical elements, once Friday with a full audience, one Saturday with a full audience. So by the time Sunday came around, it was our 5th show, and that's what we kind of kept trying to say is, you know, yes, this is all for millions of people, but just, you know, we know what this is. Try to hold on to that, and it was amazing that we were able to do that technically.
This is a Twitter question that I'm sure is directed to Aaron, but I want to direct it to William Ivey Long.
His shorts.
Excuse you, Nicole, if there was a musical representing your life, what would the main song be about? What would it be called?
Say that again?
If there was a musical, about William Ivey Long the musical, what would the main song be about, and what would it be called?
Oof. I am changing. Absolutely. Just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, the creators behind Grace Live. I think that's a good one to go out on. Thank you all for joining us. Please join me in giving a warm hand to this incredible group of creators and their amazing achievement. And thanks very much. Hi, Twitter, hi, Facebook, night. I can't be that.